What are the top 5 videos of the PowerSpeakingPro channel? In the last 3 years, I have produced over 150 videos about speaking and communication. In this video, I would like to highlight the 5 videos which I consider to be the most important if you are only going to watch 5 videos. And I will put the links below. Do you talk too much or do you talk too little? The purpose of speaking is to communicate. And if you talk too much, all you are doing is babbling. You are not communicating effective and important information. So, in that case, you talk too much. But in other cases, maybe you talk too little. For example, if you know that there's a problem coming up and you don't say something, you are talking too little. If there's a danger, such as the roads are icy, and you need to tell somebody, but you don't, in that case you talk too little. I know of stories where people have not spoken up, and it cost the companies millions of dollars. Had they just spoken up instead of speaking too little, they could have saved the company, and they could have saved their jobs. Another video which I consider to be important is all questions have assumptions. When you say to somebody, "How did you get that job?" maybe you're making the assumption that they knew somebody even though they weren't qualified and that's how they got that job. Or maybe you're just inquisitive about how did you actually get that job? Who did you contact? What sources did you use? So every time you ask a question, you are actually making assumptions. A video which I particularly like is called "She Listened with Wisdom and Understanding." There are 3 parts to this video which I really like. She listened. How many of us actually do listen? Maybe we pretend to listen, but we're actually formulating response to the other person while they are speaking, so we are not actually listening. And she listened with wisdom. This tells me that she's somewhat of an older person, because young people don't acquire wisdom. It's an acquisition which is made over time. And she listened with understanding. She listened with sympathy. She understood your position. So how many people actually listen with wisdom and understanding? And when you tell a story, is the story just a story when you go for an interview? No, I think that's a big mistake. Every time you tell a story, specifically at an interview or some sort of presentation, you should make a point. The story should have a point. Maybe you can tell somebody that you got lost, but somehow you figured out how to get back to where you really needed to go. So there should be a point to the story about how you used your smarts and your creativity to figure out where you needed to be. Make sure your story has a point. And stories should be 30 to 60 seconds in a speech. Let the audience leave with a point from your story. And my favorite is the Toastmasters International organization. If you really want to improve your public speaking, join a Toastmasters club. They offer many opportunities for you to speak. It's a voluntary organization, even though there are some dues which are quite minimal over the year. And you'll find many friendly people who will offer you advice and evaluations. So, learn to speak by joining some sort of club. These are what I consider to be the top 5 videos which I have produced over the last 3 years. There are 145 other videos which I believe are worth watching, So go to the PowerSpeakingPro channel and watch some more of the videos.